Hey! Yo! Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Aquaman, Time and Tide. Take a look at this cover right here. Now let's talk a little bit about Aquaman before we actually get into the story itself. Aquaman is one of my favorite superheroes, and there's a big misconception with Aquaman amongst comic book fans, and even writers. See, a lot of people view Aquaman as the goofy character from Super Friends, who's only useful for his telepathy with sea animals. See, that's not the case. Aquaman is actually a very serious character that has a very mystical and mythical-like sense to him. He's almost an epic-like character that can be taken very seriously. And there's more to Aquaman than just his ability to have telepathy with sea animals. He has increased strength, increased speed, and is expert at hand-to-hand combat, amongst many other skills and abilities. Now see, Aquaman is very underused and underappreciated, and very underrated. And I think that's really quite horrible because he's actually a really great, larger-than-life, epic-like character. I mean, what's more epic than the city of Atlantis? It's so legendary and mystical, and he is the ruler of it. He is the king of the ocean. I mean, that is a huge job. And it's a shame that people don't like Aquaman because of the goofiness that came from the Silver Age and from the Aquaman TV show and from the Super Friends TV show. Despite all this, I like Aquaman a lot. I think he's a great character. I think he can be taken very seriously, depending on the writer. Now, one of the problems with Aquaman is that there's not many trades of him out right now. There's only 3, not including the Showcase Presents and the Archive series. In the modern continuity, there's only Time and Tide, which is like an unofficial reboot of Aquaman in the modern continuity, Waterbearers, and Sword of Atlantis, which deals with a totally different Aquaman. A lot of people are boycotting that graphic novel, which I am not going to do. I'm actually going to pick it up and read it and give it a chance and see how it is. I'm not going to boycott it simply because there's a new Aquaman, although I love Arthur as Aquaman. He is my favorite of the Aquaman, of the two. With that said, there's been different takes of Aquaman too. There's the more classic-like Aquaman, who's the ruler of Atlantis, and then there's a little bit darker Aquaman. That is, I like to call the Gladiator Aquaman. He has like a gladiator-like suit on him, the harpoon for the hand, and the beard with long hair. Out of the two, I like them both a lot, but the classic is my favorite. I like the orange shirt and the green pants. I don't know what it is, but I just like it. With that said, like I said, I love Aquaman. He's a great character that's very underused, underappreciated, and underrated. So, Time and Tide. Time and Tide is like an unofficial reboot of Aquaman into the modern continuity. I know there's been stuff beforehand with Aquaman after the Infinite Crisis, but it really didn't translate that well with fans. This kind of gives you a take of all aspects of Aquaman's life up to this point. The first issue deals with him teaming up with the Flash, and this is his first appearance amongst people as Aquaman, the hero. This is a good story because it kind of establishes him as a hero in the man's world and the surface world. Although he has great disdain for surface dwellers, great disdain. The issue actually ends with him walking away, not liking people on land, which is I like that issue a lot. The middle 2 issues may not appeal to everyone, but it sets the foundation of Aquaman's origin, dealing with him as a child, being raised by sea animals, mainly dolphins, how he got his powers and abilities, where he comes from, and growing up on land in Alaska. I mean, it deals a lot with Aquaman's foundation, and they're actually 2 good issues. You need to have an open heart with them. The last issue deals with Aquaman, the king of Atlantis, with his wife, his child, and Aqualad, in dealing with Ocean Master, who is actually his half-brother. And that's a pretty good issue, too. On the whole, I really liked this. I thought it was a great take on Aquaman in the modern continuity. It really sets the foundation for what he is. Like I said, I like the classic Aquaman a bit better. As good as the darker harpoon hand Aquaman is, I always thought this was the best take on Aquaman. Now, my favorite issue in this is probably the first and the last issue, just because it deals with Aquaman now. It deals with Aquaman as Aquaman. Although the middle issues with him with the dolphins and him in Alaska were good too, because it really gives a little bit more layers to the character. The only problem I have with Aquaman is the fact that I don't really care much for his supporting cast. His wife, His wife is okay. She goes insane, and they kind of become estranged, and I don't know what the real deal with them is right now, but I really never cared for his wife too much. Maybe they did a little bit more with her. I could probably like her more, but I never really cared for her that much. Aqualad I was always okay with, but I never really liked the blue Speedo. I mean, Robin can pull off the Speedo, but Aqualad with the Speedo kind of... but despite all those two, they are okay supporting cast, but they don't really shine that well. Now, like I said, there's not much of Aquaman out there, so if you want to pick up Aquaman, I suggest picking this up. You will enjoy it. It gives you at least the solid foundation of what Aquaman is. DC really needs to get their asses in gear and put Aquaman stories into trade, because there are various issues from different runs in the modern era with Aquaman. They just didn't put them in trades. I don't know why. Maybe because DC is stupid on a few things. But, whatever. There are hints and rumors that Jeff Johns might actually consider doing an Aquaman rebirth. He has expressed interest in it, but whether or not it's going to happen, again, it's just rumors. It may not happen at all. But I would much appreciate Jeff Johns doing the Aquaman rebirth, because I do like the current Aquaman better than I like the older Aquaman, Arthur Curry, more than the current Aquaman. Again, I haven't been exposed to the newer Aquaman, so I don't know how much I like him, but I love the classic Aquaman. Now, I'm just ranting on and on about how much I like Aquaman, but seriously, if you want to get a taste of him, if you want a good series Aquaman, I suggest picking this up. It's not that hard to find, and you can get it for like $5 online on Amazon, so it's pretty accessible. But like I said, there's only a few trades for Aquaman out there, so what can I say? Kind of sucks, doesn't it? But whatever. Aquaman's a great character, and I suggest you give him a chance. With that said, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.